Oh, I just came down the steps because I have a house now that's more than one floor. I'm not used to it, so I'm very, very out of shape, as most of you guys know. Can't even have sex anymore, barely. Whew. I'm so exhausted after sex. I'm like ready to pass out. No, I'm ready to pass away. Not even pass out, pass away. So every time I'm having sex, I'm very close to death. Because I can only go full bore for 9 seconds. I timed it. Anyway, I haven't been this excited to open up a Glock box in a long, long time. And I want to mention, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to cover that. We have these as double action. We got a bunch of 19s, we got 17s, we have Gen 5 Glocks. Now when I first heard about the Gen 5 Glock, I'm not opening the box till I'm done talking, so, and do not speed the video up. Stop being an impatient fuck. When Gen 5s first came out, I'm like, alright, so what, so it'll be ambidextrous on both sides, who cares? That's the only difference? Nope. There's a lot of differences, a lot. There's a huge difference between a Gen 5 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. The Gen 5's in its own class. First of all, as far as torture tests go, supposedly it did the best out of all the generations that they've ever had. So that's good. There was no failures, the trigger's better, the finish is better, the ergonomics are better. I'm going to show you all kinds of shit. I'm going to try to keep it short though, because I hate long videos. So, this is a Gen 5 Glock 17. So let's see what's different about it. Right off the bat, you can see, as soon as you look at it, you can see that awesome finish it has on it. I mean, Ion Bond has got to be the nicest black finish on firearms out there. Ion Bond. You don't see it a lot. I've seen it on a Para Ordnance 1911, which I had a horrible experience with that. But it had Ion Bond finish on it, and man, it was sharp as hell looking. So Glock went with the new Ion Bond look, and the case is the same. You know, it's the same. You get the back straps, which I don't even use these. This piece of shit that doesn't work. Go to Double Action and buy an Up Lola. This Easy Loader's horrible, but you know, the same thing. You get a clean and brush and all that bullshit. Okay, so we don't need to look at the box. Now, this is something really different. I'm going to upgrade the sights. So, you probably can't tell by the camera, but maybe you can. Look how black, much more black the finish is with the Ion Bond coating. And it's very, has a beautiful satin finish. Not that most guys care about that. It's not like the Tinifer. That's how I thought it was going to feel like the Tinifer. The Tinifer is great, but it's really slippery. This is like a sheen. I can't explain it. It's just really, really nice looking. Ion Bond is very tough. Very, very tough. So, there's a few things different about this. So let's start with the controls. The controls, you have an ambi slide stop. And I'm hesitating because it's interrupting me because I'm looking at it. And it looks like the steel is a lot thicker. I don't know if I'm going nuts. It does. It looks like it's a thicker steel than the regular slide stop. And as you can see, it's on both sides, which is great for left-handers. Okay. There's a few things that helps you with that being on both sides. The slide has the cutout on both sides, which makes it easier to take the slide off. I'll show you in a minute. Well, I'll try because I've seen it done. You don't have to slide the slide all the way down. You just slide it down halfway and it should lift right off. So there's a difference right there. Another thing different about it is the finger grooves are gone. Thank you, thank you. I can't stand the finger grooves. That is a beautiful thing. Another thing different about it is it has a flared magazine well, which helps you with, it'll funnel the mag in quickly for you. Helps it funnel it in and guide it in quick. Very nice magazine well, very discreet. You can't even tell. If I didn't say anything, you probably couldn't even tell there's a magazine well there. But it's just a little flare to help you get that mag in there nice and smooth. That's very nice. IDPA guys are really going to like that. It has a flat. It has not flat. It has the smooth trigger, not the combat trigger with the grooves. The trigger has the smooth texture, which I like. I don't like the combat trigger. The 19s, I think, and the smaller Glocks have the trigger with the grooves in them. But I mean, it's not. You know, I just shoot them. I just don't like it. It doesn't really. Another thing they did, instead of a 3-pin system, it used to be 1, 2, 3. Now it's just like a Gen 2 Glock, just a 2-pin system. That's awesome. Less parts, more reliable. 1, 2, that's it. Awesome. The Glock, the Gen 5 Glock, is a whole different animal than the other ones. Because to me, this is a lot of change. Okay, and let's see here. First time I'm taking it apart. I do have the regular plastic sights on there. They're coming off. I'm going to put some kind of big dots on there somehow. So I'm going to feel the trigger. The trigger is supposed to be a little better. And I handle Glocks a lot. So if you're a person that handles Glocks a lot, you'll feel a difference. If you're like a guy that ain't familiar with Glocks, you probably won't even feel a difference. But just want to see how that wall feels compared to my Glock. Yeah, the wall's just, you can pull through the wall without any stoppage. That's nice. And of course, Glock's famous reset. The best reset. And you can pull through that wall. So what it feels like is like someone put a ghost connector in there. So the good thing is, you ain't got to do nothing to the trigger with the Gen 5. Okay? Now there's another Glock called a 17M. I don't know what that's all about. That's something else. But this is a 17 Gen 5. It has also a beveled front, which looks a million times better than the square Gumby gun. And it helps. I think they did it for looks. They're saying they did it to get in and out of a holster quicker. I think that's horseshit. I think they did it because it looks better. To get rid of that little bit of that square look that's been going on for all this time. I mean, I don't think that helps it get in a holster any quicker, because the beginning of a holster is huge. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad they did it, because it gives it a nice finished look, and I like the way that looks. It looks great. Another thing they did, they put orange followers in the magazine, which is great. They're very visible. You can see it right away. When it comes down, you can see it on each hole. It's really bright. You can tell how many rounds you got in there right away. And of course, they give you 3 of them. 3 17-round mags with the orange follower. Another thing that's different about them is the floor plates. If you look at the floor plates, they have like a little toe on them that sweeps up. I like the Vickers floor plates. I don't know if I'm going to mess with these though. We'll see what happens. You see the floor plates? So, and they also have a scallop cutout, so you can get your hand in there and rip a magazine out for a jam or whatever. A lot of people send their guns out to get the finger grooves removed, to get that cut in there. You know, they add the ring on there to give a mag well flare. I mean, Glock's giving everything to you out of the box, so you don't have to do all that. Okay, what else is different about it? There's still more. Let me take it apart. Okay, haven't shot it yet. I will shoot this tomorrow. Looks like the recoil spring looks pretty much the same. The fire and pin plunger is different. It's like a Glock 43. Let me see if I need a pointer here. There we go. If you look at that plunger, instead of it being round, it's tapered and it has a ramp on both sides. So when the trigger bar goes past it, it'll be a lot smoother. It'll slope up and slope down. and give you a smoother trigger pull. That's what helps you give you a smoother trigger pull. I think that's much nicer than the original. So that's different too. Another thing that's different is the barrel. Man, the ion coating is on the barrel too. You can see it's so black, it's beautiful. And the barrel, you can see the barrel's like crowned. See that? There you go. Has like a crown barrel, and it's more like a rifling the barrel now instead of the polygonal barrel in the original Glock, which allows it, I would assume, to shoot more kinds of different ammo, because the other Glock barrels, you're really not supposed to shoot lead through them, but this barrel is supposed to be more accurate at 40 yards or something, or you're supposed to be getting like really tight, like 3-inch groups or whatever. I don't know, but it is a different kind of barrel. It looks like rifling instead of the other kind. So that's neat. It's nice. It's very thick. So that's different. That's a lot. That's a lot of different. You know, it ain't just like, oh, they changed the grip size and that's it or something. I mean, they really revamped this Glock to even, from what I can see and what I hear, as far as the what's the name goes, the torture test, might be the best Glock that came out yet. One more thing, there's an actual, this is the slide, this is how you take it down when you pull these two slits down, and that allows you to remove the slide when you take it down. There used to be a leaf spring in there. A leaf spring isn't a spring like this. It's just a piece of flat metal that's bent like a V, and it works like this. Now a lot of Glock parts I haven't witnessed break, but that is one thing I have seen break on Glocks. But the cool thing is, when they break, you can still use the gun. That's the cool thing about Glocks. You know, sometimes certain parts in there break, the gun will still function. But they got rid of that and they put an actual spring now under the takedown levers. It's a spring. It's not a leaf spring anymore, which I think is better. I think regular traditional spring is a lot more durable than that leaf spring system. So that's pretty freaking cool. There's your both sides for the slide release, and that's some really heavy looking steel in there. That is really thick steel. Wow, this is a nice gun. This is a nice gun. I can't wait to shoot it. So that's pretty much it. I think that's a lot. Oh, there's something else I wanted to show you. When you take this off, like traditionally, okay, I'm going to take it apart. Traditionally, you pull this back, you pull these down. These things are a pain in the ass. They seem a little shorter. Okay, now when you go forward, instead of taking it all the way off, you can, see what it just did? I can take it off right away, immediately. I don't have to slide the slide all the way off anymore. I can slide it that much, right? This much, and it comes right off. Before, you would have to slide it all the way off before you can get it off. Now, just a little forward, and it comes right off. That's cool. There's another difference. How many differences is that? That's a lot. I don't know. So I didn't expect it to be that different, and it is that different. So that's it. She's ready to go. Maybe we'll do a shooting video tomorrow. We'll see how it does. I'm not even going to oil it. Lock back, nice bright follower. Shows you there's nothing in the chamber. And here it is. The Gen 5 Glock 17, man. They're going to be with regular sights on them. $585 a double action. If they have night sights on them, you're going to get past $600, of course, because night sights always add $80 to $100 more, depending on what kind of night sights that are going to be on there. But we have them with night sights. We have them with plastic sights. We have a few 17s. We have a whole bunch of 19s in Gen 5. Alright guys, hope the video helped you out. See you later.